ABC Jack here. Welcome to Vinyl Martini and welcome back to the Martini studio. I am home from my trip to France to see my son, my daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter Celeste. Had a fantastic time. It seems like forever since I've done a video, although it hasn't been that long because I did do a video with my son in La Ciotat, which was a lot of fun. That was my last video I uploaded to the channel. So we had a great time. It's Jan's first time to Paris. She has never been to Paris before, so we flew to Paris, spent a couple of days there, took the train down to Marseille where we met my son and the family, spent 2 weeks in La Ciotat, my son's village, and then took the train back to Paris and spent 3 days there. So we had a great time in Paris. Great family vacation. So good seeing the granddaughter. She is a real pistol. She's 2.5 years old. She's got so much energy, and that kid knows so many songs. She can sing so many songs at 2.5. She's amazing. Fantastic trip. The weather was almost perfect. It wasn't hot. My wife hates hot weather, but the weather, the temperature was around 14 to, I would say, 20 degrees Celsius, which is from about the mid-50s to the mid-60s in Fahrenheit. So anyways, I didn't go there to buy records, but as things happen, you know, you bump into places where they sell records and you can't help but go in. So I will show you the records that I bought. I told myself I was going to take it easy, and I think I did, but I still brought back a stack of records that I am going to share with you now. Within the first couple of days that we got to my son's village, we went to the harbor for lunch. There's lots of restaurants lining the harbor. It's a beautiful harbor. Hills surrounding the harbor. Just fantastic scenery. They happen to have a market there, so they're selling clothes, and people are selling fresh fruits and vegetables, cheese. There are butchers there, etc. And of course, there was a record dealer, so I could not help but spend 20 minutes looking for records, and I picked up a couple. So the first record I found was Peter Green's fourth album. Peter Green, late of Fleetwood Mac, solo career. It's called What You Gonna Do. I've never seen this here in North America. Peter Green, just a fantastic blues guitar player. All these songs are written by his brother, Mike Green, I think. Mike Green was basically Peter's caretaker because Peter had some psychological issues. He was, I think, a schizophrenic, but a fantastic musician, and very happy to find a copy of this. Before I start, I should say that if you're going to Europe and you're a Canadian, for example, the currency exchange is brutal. So this was 10 euros. So in reality, that's 15 Canadian dollars. So to survive mentally when you go to Europe, as a Canadian, you have to think that all the prices you see, all the prices in euros you see, just think about them in Canadian dollars so you can rest easy. You're not always doing this computation, otherwise you're going to figure out how expensive it is to really go there. So anyways, that's what I did, and the chickens come home to roost when you get home, and of course the bills come in. But to survive, just think that everything is in Canadian dollars and you'll be fine. So Peter Green's fourth record, What You Gonna Do. That's the French pressing, by the way. It's in good condition, a little dirty. It's on PVK Records. I'm not going to show you all the labels because labels are whatever. I mean, labels are labels. Next up, I found a copy of Esther Phillips' album. Esther Phillips with Beck featuring includes What a Difference a Day Makes. This is on Kudu Records. I am a huge Esther Phillips fan. I pick up her records wherever I find them. This one's got a nice glossy finish. And this is an American press. I wonder how an American album, an American pressing, finds its way to La Ciotat. Wouldn't that be interesting to find out? But this is my 10th Esther Phillips record, so you can tell that I really admire her voice. She's a great singer. What a great cover, that snake on the front, snake on the back. Esther is looking pretty sharp on this record. So Esther Phillips. My son took us, Jan and I, to visit a few villages in Provence. And Provence is a beautiful area in France, in the south of France. It's got mountains. It's got, of course, the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. It's got vineyards. It's got lavender fields. It's just absolutely fantastic. And he took us to 3 villages one day. As Noemi was working, and Celeste was at creche, which is a daycare. So we had the day to ourselves, Jan and Sid and I. And we first visited a village called Les Zachary. It's called Saint-Zachary. Sorry. Sid told me that they had a bookstore there that also sold records. He'd never been there. So we dropped in for about half an hour, had a cruise through the bins, and I picked up a couple of records. This is Nazareth's, I think it's their 6th album from 1978. And they just picked up a new guitar player, actually. So they had a double guitar player on this. I've never seen this in Canada, so I was really surprised to see it. It's called No Mean City. Fantastic cover, fantastic artwork. I've just started picking up Nazareth albums, so I'm really happy to find this one. I caught a cold on the plane, by the way. As you can tell, my voice is a little bit throaty. So I'm going to try to get through this video, and if I start coughing and hacking, I've got a cup of tea beside me to stop. So anyways, Nazareth, found a Tangerine Dream album. Let's try to pull this out of the sleeve. It's called Stratosphere. Love Tangerine Dream. I mean, they've got about 100 records, I think. Again, this is on Virgin Records. This is a London press, really nice copy. Special import. Tangerine Dream, Stratosphere. Looking forward to giving that a spin as well. I think within the first week, Sid and I did a boys' trip into Marseille. Marseille is the 2nd largest city in France. Totally different than Paris, that's for sure. It's the oldest city in France, and it's got a pretty wild history. And it is totally, like I said, it's totally different. It is almost, how do I describe it? It's a little bit, I mean, there's graffiti everywhere. It's a real nitty-gritty city, but it's a great city. We went there one afternoon, and we walked along the Corniche. They blocked off the Corniche, which is the seaside road along the harbor. It was a beautiful day. There was musicians. There was street trucks. It was a fantastic day. It was very crowded, a fantastic family day for the people of Marseille. But anyways, we went to Marseille for the day with the purpose of going to record stores and buying records. And Sid parked the car, and as we were walking to the first record store, I passed a garbage bin, and excuse me, I found a single that was lying on the ground behind the garbage bin. So I took this as kind of an omen, and it's a Demi Rousseau single. Side A is Ainsi Soit-il, and I think side B is, sorry, what is it? It is Un coeur qui bat pour toi. It's in really good condition for an album that I found behind the garbage lying on the ground. I don't collect 45s, but I did, like I said, I did take this as an omen. And Demi Rousseau, I think, is a very famous French artist. I'm pretty sure about that. Anyways, we went to our first record store, and my mind is blanking out on the names of these record stores, but I've been to this record store before, and I pillaged their cheapie bins the last time I was there, and this time I just went through the bins and found a couple of interesting records. And I found a copy of the Waterboys first album. I'm so into the Waterboys in the last year or so. This is my 3rd Waterboys album in really nice shape. This was 10 euros. Had to pick that up. I love the Waterboys. Fantastic find. And I have Lloyd Cole and the Commotion's first album, Rattlesnake. Is it called Rattlesnake? Yeah, it's called Rattlesnake. And I found a copy of their 2nd and their 3rd album, Lloyd Cole and the Commotions, that is, because Lloyd Cole has had a long solo career after that. But I found, I'm not sure which is which, but I found this one. It's called Easy Pieces. It's featuring Lost Weekend and Cut Me Down. Brian the Embryonic Robot knows all about Lloyd Cole and the Commotions, and these are probably the lesser of the albums. Rattlesnake is I think his best album. I haven't listened to these second ones, but I just couldn't help picking them up because I was so impressed with Rattlesnake. And this one, Lloyd Cole and the Commotions, it's called Mainstream. So, being the completest I am, I think I have all of the Lloyd Cole and the Commotions albums now. And this one is from 1987. I was very happy to find those two. And those 3 records, I bought those 3 records in one store. They came to 25 euros. And as I went up to the counter, the fellow didn't speak English, but I said, 25 euros. He just looked at me, he said, how about 20? I said, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. We went to several other record stores, but they were kind of, they were hip hop stores and dance music stores featuring those types of music. Really interesting shops, they had great stuff. And the prices, of course, in Europe, in record shops, I have to inform you, are just like through the roof, man. Through the roof. Usually, like a typical record price is about 30 euros. And if you do the math, so that 30 euro record was going to cost me 45 Canadian dollars. And if you know me and you're watching my channel, you know I don't buy records for $45. I wouldn't buy a record. I wouldn't buy a record by God for $45. But anyways, I went through the cheapie bins of this next store we went through because the prices were they're so high. But they had really interesting records. But we asked where the cheapies were, and they were of course under the bins. And they were not stacked in a way that was conducive to actually flipping through them. But anyways, I persevered, and I found 3 records that I was going to bring home with me. One is David Lindley's 3rd album, which I've never seen before. I have his first 2, and this is called Very Greasy. And this was recorded in 1988, produced by Linda Ronstadt. Of course, David played on many Linda Ronstadt albums, and of course was in Jackson Browne's touring band and played on all of Jackson Browne's albums. He's a great guitar player, and his first 2 records are really, really good. He can play anything with strings. David is a very talented guy. So that is a French press, I think. Is that a French press? Warner, no, German press. I lie, German press. Anyways, 5 euros. Nice find. I found a Del Fuego's album, French press. Del Fuego's band from Boston. This is their first album. I've never heard the Del Fuego, so I'm taking a punt on them. I've heard about them from people on the East Coast, so looking forward to giving that a spin. And this is from 1985, the Del Fuegos. And a band I took a punt on. I'm bringing it home because I like the cover. The band is called Earthquake. The album title, excuse me, I knew that was going to happen. There we go. Is 8.5. It's on Berserkly Records, and I just like the inside cover. I like the look of the band, but on further reflection, excuse me, I checked it out on Discogs and I checked it out on AllMusic, but apparently this isn't a very good record. I thought it would be a more hard rocking record, but I never take other people's comments seriously, and I prefer to listen to it myself and make my own judgment. Okay, so those are the records from the south of France, and I'm quickly going to show you the records I got in Paris at Superfly Records. And it is on the Rue de Notre Dame de Nazareth. So it's around the La Plaza de la République, if you're in that area. In Paris, it's well worth going to. Again, the prices are very high. Excuse me. And I find the grading system is, all the records they've got little labels that they've graded, and I find that the grading system is really generous for the prices they're charging. But anyways, I did manage to go through the cheapies and go through the upper bins and find something to bring home. First up is the Ravillos. My friend in the the south of Scotland, Mike, sorry, I forgot his channel's name, but he is a big Rosillos fan, and the Rosillos released one record under the name of the Rosillos, and they broke up, and then the band reformed, and the record label would not let them record as the Rosillos, so they recorded as the Revillos, changed their name. The album is Teen Beat. It's actually an EP. There is 6 songs on this record. It was released on Psycho Records. I don't have any Revillos records, but on Mike's recommendation, I picked this up. It is on Psycho Records, so I'll show you the label. Pretty cool there. I am sadly lacking in punk records, if this can be called a punk band. I'm sure it can be. But I am, when the Ramones and everything, all that stuff came out, I was a big fan, but I kind of just lost interest in around 1980 of punk bands. I don't know why, but I did. Another record that I found in their soul bins was this guy. I've never heard of him before. It's Billy Joe Bacote, and he's only recorded 2 records, but he's really interesting in that he's a black folk singer. And this is an entirely acoustic record. It was recorded in Chicago, I think. I've never heard of the guy. I've never seen this record. It's a nice, flashy finish. It's a UK press on Liberty Records. I played it the other day, and it's really, really great. This is going to be a grower. He sort of reminds me of Rodriguez. Kind of the same era as well. His lyrics are great. He's a really good storyteller. Really unusual for a black guy just to be a folk singer. I mean, Richie Havens is the only other guy I can think of at the moment that did that. But you're a really good record, and it only cost me, it did cost me 20 euros, but I took a punt on that, and I'm glad I did. The rest of these I found in their GP bins, and these were all 5 euros each. So Alex Taylor, who is James Taylor's brother, very talented family. Livingston Taylor is another Taylor brother. Kate Taylor is a Taylor's sister. They all had music careers. I think they're all still playing. And in many ways, they're more interesting than their brother. Of course, James had all the success. And anyways, this is on, I'm not sure what year this was released. 1971. And it's on Capricorn Records, and it's got this great Atco label. This is an American press. Again, how did an American pressing get into a Parisian record store? And it's got this label, this Capricorn label, this pink label that I've never seen before. So another addition to my singer-songwriter collection. And if he's anything like his brother Livingston, excuse me, it should be worth the listen. Oh gosh. I'm going to get through this, folks. Neville Brothers, Uptown, still sealed. American press. And this is a 1970. Again, I'm saying 1984. That's what I'm thinking. But the Neville Brothers, great band from New Orleans. Still on the shrink. I'm going to take that every day. How about some Smokey? Yeah. Yes, it's you, baby. No, it's called not you, baby. It's Yes, It's You, Lady. Of course, one of the smoothest singers to come out of Motown. Fantastic singer and songwriter. Smokey Robinson. I'll pick Smokey Robinson up for five euros any day of the week, and this is called Love Smokey, another Smokey Robinson album. And I've never seen these guys on these records on this side of the pond either. So happy to have another couple of Smokey records. I am a big Millie Jackson fan, and this is her album Live and Outrageous, XXX, rated XXX, on Spring Records. Again, a French press. Glad to add another Millie Jackson record to my collection. Again, I think I have about 7 or 8 of her records. I'll pick hers up any day of the week I see that. Another Jackson. I took a punt on this one. This is Walter Jackson, and I Want to Come Back as a song Walter Jackson had was a soul singer, an R&B singer, had some minor hits, but it just looked interesting. I don't know. And there's a little connection here. It was the photographer of this album cover is Jeff Dunas, who is the husband of my wife's second cousin in Los Angeles. He's a great photographer. So an album that I am looking forward to giving a listen to, and it's on United Artists. And United Artists, to me, is one of those labels that never knows what to do with any of their artists. They've just had so many great artists on their label, and they just never rose up to the greatness that they should have, in my humble opinion. Coming to the end, folks. Last record. Again, sealed record, 5 pounds. This is a British press, and it is Bram Tchaikovsky, his third record called Funland. And according to some people, this is his worst album, or his least favorite, or least good records. And they only released 3. I think Bram sort of faded into this sunrise after the release of this record, but I've got his first record. It's quite good. I really enjoyed it. And the reviews of this are mixed. Some people hate it, and other people say this is their favorite Bram Tchaikovsky record. So I shall check it out myself and make my own judgment. So there you have it. Those are the records I brought back from France. I am going to say au revoir for now, because my voice is dying. Sorry about the coughing. I don't know how to. I'm a one-shot kind of guy, so I'm not going to go back and redo this, because I'll probably even cough more on the second take of this. I am going to be back next week. I am going to be running a contest for the month of December for my 3rd year in the VC. So I will see you in a couple of days. Thanks for watching and taking time to watch this, because I'm running over 20 minutes as usual. I will see you the next time. Cheers, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.